Hello everyone, welcome to Kishwar's Picks Week 10 edition. I know I'm a little late this week. It's been one of those weeks for all of us, especially with the whole election and everything that's gone on in the last 48 to 72 hours. But we all got through it, and the sun came up again, and we are still here. So, without getting into political talk, I'm trying to talk about NFL last week. The Jets blew their season. I know I'm wearing the hat right now, but it's just only that my hair is extremely messed up. If you don't believe me, here you go. So yeah, that's the only reason. Not like I'm supporting this team to go all the way this year. So please don't make that mistake. They had a chance to win that game, no matter how bad they played. However, Miami with that kickoff return touchdown as soon as the Jets scored in fourth quarter sealed the deal, and then just showed that the Jets are just a completely flawed team, and winning that game would hide a lot of deficiencies. So in a way, I'm very happy that they lost, and this team needs to start over from scratch. However, with that being said, I don't think Todd Bowles still wants to give the fans what they want, and I understand he's the head coach, so he gets the last call, and he wants to stick with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Of course, us fans want to see Bryce Petty get the starting job, but unfortunately, things aren't working out in our favor. And as much as I hate to say it, but I'll still be watching this team, hoping that Fitzpatrick will get benched and Petty will start. And I'll just look forward to next season. That being said, let's jump into Week 10 picks. Now, I know there was a game last night, Baltimore and Cleveland Browns. Not a lot of people cared, so I'm kind of glad that was a game last night, so I don't have to do a big review on it. So I'll just go straight to the Sunday's games right now. And the first game on the 1 o'clock we have is, of course, the Los Angeles Rams and New York Jets. Uh, the Jets are favored by 1.5. I'm gonna give them this game because they're at home and the Rams have Case Keenum. And although almost every quarterback throws for 300 plus yards against this past defense, I don't expect the Rams to do that. Todd Gurley didn't practice yesterday, so I'm not sure if he's gonna play. The Jets just have enough to get past the Rams team and improve to 4-6 and head on to the bye week. Uh, I would love to see Bryce Petty again, but I'm not sure if Coach Bowles will give us that. So Rams will lose to the Jets. Next game is Green Bay at Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans have been great this year. Quietly, they're 4-5. They almost pulled it out last week in San Diego. Green Bay has been up and down all season long. They just don't have a good roster on Aaron Rodgers. He's a great quarterback, but I don't see him as a fiery leader, and that's what's been the knock on him for the past couple of years. I think the entire team will respond to his criticism after the game last week, and the Packers should have a big game in Tennessee. I'm going to pick the Packers to beat the Titans. Moving on to Minnesota Vikings and Washington Redskins. From 5-0, they dropped to 5-3. Talking to the Vikings here, it's sad to see how their team just fell apart. The offensive line can't protect Sam Bradford, and the defense hasn't been lights out as they were the first 5 weeks of the season. The Redskins coming off a tie before their bye week. I'm pretty sure at home they will be hungry for a W, and they need it more than anyone because NFC's race is heating up this year. So I'm gonna pick the Redskins in a close game at home. Next game we have the Chicago Bears at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hard to believe Chicago is actually favored by 1 in this game. However, I still don't trust Jay Cutler. Jameis Winston has been having a pretty up and down season. I'm not sure why they regress, but I expect him to beat the Bears team. The Bucks are 3-5. I don't expect them to compete in NFC South this year, but maybe next year they will be a wild card contender. Winston should improve significantly next year, but for this week, they should be able to take care of the Bears, who aren't going anywhere. By the way, congrats to the Chicago Cubs, if I didn't mention it last week. Next game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at Carolina Panthers. The Panthers should have blown out the Rams last week, but they didn't for some god awful reason. The Chiefs are a completely different team on the road as they are in Arrowhead. I think Cam Newton will have a good game against the Chiefs. Alex Smith should be back for this game, but I think at home Carolina should be able to take care of business and beat the Chiefs. Moving on to Atlanta Falcons at Philadelphia Eagles. Uh, the Falcons put up 40 plus points last Thursday night. Eagles 4-4. I don't know how they just completely dropped their season. I'm It's upsetting to see it because Carson Wentz looked very promising. I think he's still pretty good, but I think he needs more time. And I don't think Eagles will win the number one offense in this league right now. And Falcons on the road. Next game we have the Denver Broncos and New Orleans Saints. I don't think I'll ever go against Drew Brees at home. Even if it's the Broncos even coming to town, but I don't think the starting corners are going to be in. And that's a bad news for them because Drew Brees will throw for 400 yards if your starting corners are going to be out. Saints in the Dome, easy. Moving on to Houston Texans at Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to pick the Jaguars to win. Yes, they're 2-6. Yes, they haven't lived up to the hype this year, but I don't simply trust Brock Osweiler. He's slowly starting to enter the Jay Cutler territory. This man stole money from Texans and hasn't delivered yet. And I'm going to pick them to lose every week he's going to start. Maybe, call me outrageous, but maybe they'll have a better shot with Tom Savage. But I don't trust this man. And I'm going to pick Blake Bortles and Jaguars to beat the Texans. Make that upset of the week. Although, looking at the line right now, Jacksonville is actually favored by 2. But I'm still going to use it as upset of the week. Moving on to 4 o'clock games. First game we have is the Miami Dolphins at San Diego Chargers. Both teams have 4 wins because Miami already had the bye week. They're 4-4. San Diego's 4-5. They are very much alive in the wild card race for the AFC. San Diego is amazing at home. Phillip Rivers, I'm not going to say he should be in the MVP discussion, but he sure is playing like one. He keeps his team in every single game. Unfortunately, every game they lost, the defense blew it at the end, or the offense just faded away. However, I don't think they will lose to the Dolphins. Dolphins coming off a decent win against the Jets. They're going to travel cross country to take on Phillip Rivers. I don't think they will pull off that. So I'm going to take the Chargers at home. Moving on to Dallas Cowboys at Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that 7-game winning streak comes to an end finally for Dak Prescott and company. Also, I predict this will be Dak Prescott's last game as Tony Romo is slated to come back next week. No matter what anyone says, Tony Romo is a clearly better quarterback than Prescott, and he should get a starting job back. This isn't a Drew Bledsoe Tom Brady situation to me. Dallas offense will continue to thrive with Romo, so it's not, they're not going to take a step back with Romo. Pittsburgh offense needs to come alive. They're so one-dimensional. They have Le'Veon Bell as a running back, and they hardly use him. So they need to get him involved more. Sammy Coates and Tony Brown and company needs to step up for Big Ben, and I think Pittsburgh will pull it off at home. Moving on to San Francisco and Arizona Cardinals. Lock of the week, Cardinals will beat this team by 2 touchdowns, and also they're favored by 13.5 anyway. Carson Palmer should have a good game after a bye week. Fitzgerald and Michael Floyd, David Johnson will all be great against this putrid defense of 49ers. I think they're just a bad team all around. I can't believe that one of their linebackers said they're one of the best teams in the league. I don't know what they're smoking up there. Let's not waste too much time in this 49ers team. Cardinals easy. Moving on to Seattle Seahawks at New England Patriots Sunday Night Football. The Patriots are favored by 7.5. And I expect them to win by double digits, actually. The Patriots are almost nearly impossible to beat in Foxborough. You have to play a perfect game against them to beat them at home. Russell Wilson looked all right last week, but against Buffalo defense and with the 12th man, Seahawks looked vulnerable. So I don't expect them to fly cross country and beat the best team in the league right now. So it's just not going to happen. Patriots over Seahawks. Moving on to Monday Night Football, we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus New York Giants. The line right now is even. Should be a great game, but I'm going to give it to the New York Giants, especially because they're home. Cincinnati 3-4-1. I expected so much more out of them this year, but clearly losing Hugh Jackson was a big deal to them. The defense hasn't lived up to that type either. The Giants' offense is starting to click. To me, they have one of the best wide receiving corps in the league, and they should be able to put up points against this team. So let's go with the Giants against the Bengals. 4 teams are on bye this week. That'll be the Raiders, Bills, and a couple others can't think of right now. So let's recap. Lock of the week is Arizona Cardinals, and upset of the week, although they're favored in this in the line, but I'm gonna pick the Jaguars to take down the Texans. As usual, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of these picks, and I'll see you next week on time, which is Tuesday night, regularly scheduled program for Week 11 picks. Thank you for watching.